Hello, Mr. Poet, and today I have two poems for you. The first poem is called You Can't Stop. You can't stop the world from turning. You can't stop the sun from burning. You can't stop a pure heart from beating. You can't stop a hungry lion from eating. You can't stop the rain from coming down. You can't stop the universe from spinning around. You can't stop the mighty from doing good deeds. You can't stop life sprouting from a seed. You can't stop lightning from streaking across the sky. You can't stop the damage done by a malicious dark lie. You can't stop the wind from blowing in all four directions. You can't stop a young boy from experiencing a hard erection. You can't stop a mighty river from flowing into the sea. You can't stop the myriad of expressions of human emotions. You can't stop a speedy train from jumping off its tracks. You can't stop people from stabbing you in your back. You can't stop a bee's attraction for honey and a flower. You can't stop the minutes from creating the hours. You can't stop a baby from crying for its mother. You can't stop the fighting between you and your brother. You can't stop the wine from being poured into the cup. You can't stop a wine head from drinking it up. You can't stop the hands of time. You can't stop the transformation from boy to a man. You can't stop blood from flowing, eyes from seeing. You can't stop emotions from feeling. You can't stop a compulsive liar from lying. You can't stop soldiers on the battlefield from dying. You can't stop destiny from taking its course. You can't take the speed from a powerful horse. You can't stop the flow of love when it's coming from the Supreme. You can't stop the illusions and awaken from God's dream. You can't live in this world without doing your part, and you can't stop the love that pours from God's heart. You can't stop. Second poem is called Where Were You? Where were you when I made the sun shine? Where were you when I created time? Where were you when I made the first wind to blow across the land? Where were you when I taught the first man to stand? Where were you when I set the heavens in motions? Where were you when I measured the depths of the oceans? Where were you when I gave man their first breath? Where were you when I created death? Where were you when I gave the forest their green? Where were you when I created your dreams? Where were you when I pulled the light out of the night? Where were you when I gave the mountains their height? Where were you when I gave man the ability to speak? Where were you when I gave humility to the meek? Where were you when the first rain fell? Where were you when I created the first female? Where were you when I gave the antelope and deer their grace? Where were you when I carved out the very first face? Where were you when I hung the stars in the midnight sky? Where were you when I put the sparkle in a newborn eyes? Where were you when I first gave tools to man? Where were you when I formed the heavens with my hands? Where were you when I parted the lands from the seas? Where were you when I gave the honey to the bees? Where will you be when I return everything back unto me? You'll be where you've always been with me. Where were you. Okay. Thank you.